Self-belief will be your only challenge as long as you're alive. Because belief is that thing that we have to hold on to that we don't see yet. It's something that's always out in front of us, meaning we haven't done it yet. And so you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to have fear. And you might even stop yourself at times because you don't want to take that next step. And I do know this because that's how I lived most of my life. But because I lived most of my life that way, you don't have to. I posted something yesterday, said we no longer have to struggle or suffer. And I do know that because I spent my life answering all the questions that you might have about your life or where you're meant to go, what's happening in our world. I didn't answer them. Wilhelm gave them all to me. And I posted a message today. Done many of them, so I'm giving you the highest mindset training that you could possibly find because it was all downloaded from universal consciousness. So it works for everyone because we're all the same as humans. We just come into the world and we start forming different ideas about ourselves, and that is in our consciousness, but we do that because we were programmed. We were told something and we keep believing it, individually and also collectively. Wilhelm said, let's stop doing that. Let's give you something new. What if every person had worth and value? What if every person had something that they were meant to bring to the world that would cause them to live a really great life and contribute to creating the much better world that we all want to have, because that's how we evolve? And they used me as the example to show that it worked. Because I had to move through all of my dark side. I had to move through all of my judgment, all of my darkness, all of my generational beliefs, my trauma, all of those things. And I wrote them all down. So now you don't have to do that anymore. And I know that that's true because your questions have been answered. I also discovered that when I'm doing a channeling session, everyone's question is answered then because I'm in a different state of consciousness. I'm accessing different information. What was challenging for me, as it will be for you, is that I did something that's completely unique that no one had done. But you're doing the same thing, but just in your own way. And when you're not doing it, then that's when trouble comes up for you. And that's what's happened for me, which is why I'm changing. Because I couldn't put out this much proof of what I was given. We think things are happening, just one after the other in this linear time, and that's not what's going on. Everything is happening in our present moment. Everything is happening now if we can get a hold of that. This is why mindfulness is so valuable, or meditation or whatever, because then you're in your moment of now. But we don't often live there. And that's again because of how we've been programmed. But I spent 36 years writing down every single thing that could get you to the place of loving yourself and understanding who you are and living your purpose. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done. I have the answer. Now that I can tell you. Now you may not do it because a lot of times we become afraid. The only reason we don't succeed is we're afraid of taking the next step and owning ourselves. And I know that that's true because I did it as well. I couldn't tell you that I had done this because this was bizarre. How did I do this? Because the thing we discovered is that as I was receiving this information, it was energetically aligned with all the changes happening in our world. This is why I was never a regular kind of channel, because it didn't come through that way. It was organized by date and by what the events were occurring in our world and in your life. That's why everyone resonated to Wilhelm's words, and they said, it feels like they're speaking to me. And they were, because they're speaking to all of us. That's why I said it's universal consciousness. And as you go through the messages that I put up today, they're for August 20th, but I'm putting them up today because I want people to have a chance to look at them and to see, because I have to finish now. We all stop ourselves at a certain time, and I have developed the most powerful mindset, self-actualization, personal development information that anybody could use. That's what I have. But me coming to accept that took a long time because I'd never seen it either. How could that have happened? Even though it's healed every single aspect of my life over decades, as long as I've been alive, as I've said. So now I can give it to everyone else. And you'll have to decide if you're going to believe yourself. That's all. You'll have to decide if you're going to believe that thing that is in front of you. And then now you have help to get there, because we all needed help. I needed tons of it, which is why I wrote it all. But now you can have it. But that's why I'm changing everything. And that's why now you can have your best life. You just have to decide that you want it, because I know that this work will take you there. And that's what I'm devoting the rest of my life, the rest of my working life, that's for sure, to doing this. There's no reason for any of us to struggle or suffer anymore. It's just a choice that we will make. And that choice will be, we're just not going to take the next step. And I've done it a lot, so I do understand. But when you're ready, now you know you have the best life in front of you, and you have a way to get there. See you soon.